everyone, welcome back to the Gypsy Caravan. I'm Shan. How are you doing? I started filming this, then realized I was running late for a freelance, went and did the freelance, came and finished filming, but before I did that I sat down and started watching TV and then realized I didn't do an introduction, so here we are. I'm going to be doing what I like to call the baddie makeup. It's not really like the baddie makeup that you see on TikTok, but like this is badass if you ask me. It's not quite a cut crease, it's not quite a wing, it's just like mysterious, like the baddies, you know what I'm saying? So that's the makeup tutorial that I'm going to be doing for you today. Don't forget to check out my other tutorials that I have on my channel. I have a whole playlist there for you. There's a little bit of something for everyone, so go and find something that you think you'll like, or something that you would like to recreate for yourself. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and follow me on all social media, and give this video a like, thumbs up, say hi, comments. Okay, let's just get into it.
Alrighty, this one's gonna go fast, so try and keep up. I am apologizing firstly for what I look like. I just woke up here. My eyes are already primed. I'm going in with some washi tape because I cannot find my sellotape, and I'm just plotting out where I want my wings or the edge of my makeup to end. This tape is really helpful in making everything precise and making cleanup super easy, so make sure they are in line with each other and that they are even before sticking them down. The first eyeshadow I'm going in with is Kid by MAC, and I'm going to use a 286 brush to buff this into the crease. This is going to be my transition shade. I didn't want something too warm and too cool because essentially the entire look is black, but I do need something to blend out the black eyeshadow. You can't just go in and raw dogging it with black, it's not going to blend. So just get this in from inner corner to outer corner. Then I'm going in with a black eyeliner. This is Feline by MAC, and I am loading up a 208 brow angled brush by MAC with pencil. And I am just plotting out my wing shape. I am pushing this into my lash line. I'm not taking it all the way into the inner corner, but I'm kind of following where my lashes are in my lash line. Let's just use that as a guide. And then creating an extension of the wing along the tape there. I'm then using this 219 pencil brush to kind of buff this out and make the liner a little bit thicker. I don't want this to be thin at all. Go big or go home is the motto of this makeup look, I guess. I'm then loading the brush again, and I'm plotting out the extension of the wing. It's kind of like a floating liner situation, but not really. We are going to be filling in the tail end of this wing liner, floating liner situation. I'm then going to smudge that out and buff it out with that pencil brush again. Don't bring the floating liner too far in. I kind of kept it very much on the outer corner of my eye, maybe like about halfway, because essentially I just want to fill in the wing and then keep everything else very open. Then pick up any black eyeshadow that you have. Can literally be any black as long as it's a matte black, and I'm going to start pushing this into the lash line, along the wing, and of course into that floating liner extension that we have at the top. And then once I've done that, I am going to start filling in that wing, or the 1/3 of the outer corner. I'm not going to take this too far in, but I am going to make the outer corner super dark. Once I've filled in that outer corner, I'm going to use that 286 brush to kind of start blending the black back on itself, like towards the lid area, just to kind of soften it so it doesn't look like a very harsh mapped out black wing. I don't want that at all. I do want some softness to it, so you can always add a little bit of Kid onto the brush as well, just to help blend it out. I'm then going to pull off the tape because we don't need that anymore. Essentially the makeup look is ready here. I'm then going to go in with my Sir John cream palette and picking up that pearl shade. I'm going to use this as my lid color. It's effectively a pearly gold cream base, and I'm pushing this in the very inner corner and then pushing it up along the black eyeshadow that we have on the end there. You can kind of go over it, but not too much. And then just to emphasize the lash line a little bit more, I'm going in with black liquid liner. This is the Brushstroke Black by MAC. Then moving on to lashes, I'm just going to curl my lashes with my eyelash curler. You can curl your lashes if you want to. I'm not going to do lashes, but I'm going to curl them. And then the mascara I used for today's look is my Extended Play Gigiblack Lash by MAC. Technically lashes would have worked in this moment, but I was kind of pressed for time. So I'm just brushing through my lashes to create some separation and length and definition. For skin today, I want to keep it quite simple. I went in with a blurring and perfecting primer. This one is by Isabella Garcia. I just massaged it into my skin. It's a really great primer. It's long lasting and obviously smooths out the skin. The foundation I went in with today is by Catrice. It's the True Skin Foundation. I absolutely love this foundation. It's incredible. It gives amazing coverage. It's great for dry skin and it just sits really well on my skin. I'm applying it here with the Real Techniques Miracle Complexion Sponge. Would definitely recommend you try this foundation out. And then for concealer today, I didn't really go in with a concealer. I went in with a highlighting product. This is the Eyelights Concealer Highlighter by Isabella Garcia. It's in the exact same shade as my skin, literally, but it just emphasizes and highlights my under eye area in a very natural, unfiltered kind of way, if I can say that. Anyway, I went and I blended that in with my Real Techniques sponge again. Using a damp sponge just really helps to press the product in. It picks up any excess if you are a little bit of a heavy-handed makeup applier. And it overall just smooths out the surface of the skin in terms of your makeup application. I then went in with a little bit of baking. I used my L'Oreal translucent powder and again the damp sponge just to smooth out my under eye area. I didn't use this to set the rest of the skin because I find this foundation does set to almost a powdery finish on my skin, which is incredible. Then for brows, I did a little bit of a slightly defined fluffy brow. I'm using the spoolie end of my eyebrows pencil just to brush through them. And then going in with my Shape and Shade Tint pen in the shade Fling. I'm using the eyeshadow side to fill in my brows. This is just what's going to make my brows look a little bit thicker and fuller without adding too much product, because too much product on the brows will actually do the opposite. Well, at least that's what I found. So I'm just using the eyeshadow to buff this into the brow hairs. I'm not touching the skin at all. I'm then going back in with the spoolie side and just brushing out the brows in the correct direction. And then I'm just going to use the pencil to underline my brows and just to create the slight extensions that I need on the ends. I'm not going to actually fill in the brow at all. I'm just using it to define the shape of my brow. And then again, obviously spoolie that in. And then I'm going to set them all in place with a brow gel. This is the NYX Thick It Stick It brow gel in the shade Taupe. And I am just fluffing out my brows in the front and then setting the mids and tails. I'm then going back in with that Shape and Shade brow tint, and I'm using the felt tip side, and I am just using this to fill in the little gappies in my brow and also just to create the fake fluffy hairs in the front of my brows. Then to finish off the eyes, I am just using a little bit of that black pencil again on the angled brush to fill in the lash line underneath and to create a small extension on the end as well, kind of mimicking the top lid, but doing that obviously in the bottom. And then just taking that 219 pencil brush with a little bit of black eyeshadow, I am just going to smudge and blend this out and create a smoky effect in the waterline, or the lash line rather. I didn't fill the waterline in at all because black generally closes my eyes, so I've just kept that open. You can put a cream pencil in if you wish, or a white pencil, but I just leave it open. Don't forget to put mascara on your bottom lashes so that you can pull the eye open with that. And then for like a contour bronzing situation today, I went in with a Sculpt Defining Powder by MAC. This is in the shade Delicates. And I'm just taking it on a flat Isabella Garcia powder brush, and I'm just pushing this into the hollows of my cheeks. I'm not really contouring, but I'm not really bronzing either. I did go in with a cooler powder brush, shade rather, just to kind of add some definition and sculpt into my face without actually doing that. That made no sense, so just do what you want. And then I'm also just brushing this powder into my temples and forehead just to minimize that area slightly. And then I'm also just sculpting out my nose with that powder too. So shaping out my nose. I probably did my jaw as well. So just sculpt out the areas where you feel you need a shadow or an angle in your face. These are just the areas that I sculpt and shape because I have an incredibly round face and do not want a round face. I like the angles. I like the definition that comes with having some angles in the face. For blush, for a change, I went in with this beautiful shade. It's called Fleur Power by NYX Cosmetics, and I'm just pouncing that into the apples of my cheeks and a little bit higher up on my cheekbone as well, just to add a little bit of lift into my face, you know, to keep the sculpt situation going in my face. For highlighter today, I'm going in with a Hyperreal Glow palette by MAC. I'm using the gold shade first, and I'm kind of using this as an overall glow along the cheeks, along my nose. I think I dusted this across my forehead and chin as well. It's just to create an overall glow. It is a little bit of a darker highlighter for my skin tone, which is why I like to use that as an overall glow. And then I'll use the lighter, brighter shades to do like more precise highlighting on the skin. So if you just want an overall glow and you have a palette like this, the darker shade will create that for you. Where if you want more precise highlighter and more precise placement of such highlighters, then you can do that in specific areas on the face. I also took this down my nose, apparently. So I'm going in with the rose gold pinky shade, the center shade, and on a smaller brush, I am going to use this to buff it into my brow bone area. Cannot forget to highlight this area, and also I am just meshing this into that eyeshadow as well, so that any harsh lines that I maybe forgot to blend or was a little too quick to blend out, the highlighter acts as kind of like an eraser or a corrector to help blend out any situation in that area. I also use this down my cupid's bow and the tip of my nose to create a little bit more precise highlighting there. For the inner corner, I am using the Icy Vanilla shade in the palette and the 219 pencil brush to use this as the inner corner highlighter. It is the brightest highlighter in the palette, so that's technically what I wanted for my inner corner. I'm then going to set everything with my Catrice setting spray because I cannot afford anything to move. And then I got dressed and made myself look pretty. And the lipstick shade I used for today's look is the Retro Matte Liquid Lipstick by MAC in the shade Burnt Spice. Oh my goodness, I have no idea what I'm talking about. So let's just end this video here. Thank you so much for watching. This is the completed look. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and follow me on all social media. Bye!